What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and we're getting some more new information on Disney's, how do I say it, Snow White, but the correct term is it's
Reimagined.
That's right. Snow White, with skin as white as snow, is now being played by somebody whose skin is not as white as snow, but progress, right? We're now being told that it will feature radical feminist narratives. I'm sure that this movie is going to be amazing. I, for one, literally can't wait for this movie to come out. I mean, the idea that we can get radical feminist narratives in a Disney movie, Snow White, I really can't imagine anything better. Nothing. I mean, maybe other than, quick word from this video sponsor. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Keeps. 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35. And the best way to prevent hair loss is to do something about it while you still have hair. Keeps offers generic versions of the FDA-approved medications for hair loss. Prevention is key. Keeps treatments can take up to 4 to 6 months before they start seeing results. So it's important to start acting fast. The sooner you start using Keeps, the more hair you'll save. If you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/thequartering or click the link in the description to save 50% off your very first order. That's keeps.com/thequartering. So a couple new interesting articles. Disney's Snow White remake will update classic story with
Stronger narratives.
And we all know what that means, right? I mean, Marxism and having a strong independent woman who don't need no man, all this kind of stuff. There haven't been any new ideas in Hollywood for years. Just about every blockbuster new release is a sequel or a remake of a sequel. The creators at Disney, for example, have spent many, many millions of dollars turning all their classic cartoons into live-action remakes. These adaptations are sometimes, scene-for-scene copies with live actors, which make their existence questionable. But what's even worse is that Disney's revamping of old movies without changing them is inevitable modernizing of classic films.
Modernizing.
In a live-action version of Beauty and the Beast, Belle is presented as an inventor, like her father. And in Aladdin, Jasmine gets a much bigger backstory and a desire to run the city, not just escape it. Plot changes that are obvious nod to feminist themes. There are hints that progressive elements will make it into the remake of the 1936 Disney classic. During an interview with Crapfeed, actress Rachel Zegler said that she's excited to bring Snow White into the modern era by telling a story that's, quote, a lot stronger. There's not much I can say about it besides the fact that Snow White has constantly been criticized. Really? By who? Even though she's the original Disney princess and we love her so much, but criticized for existing solely for a prince existing solely to be rescued, the actress explained. I haven't criticized Snow White, have you? I'm not exactly sure who these people are that are criticizing Snow White, but I mean, I suppose they must exist somewhere. I think that our director, Mark Webb, and everyone who's working on this film has taken her narrative and turned it into something that's a lot stronger. And I'm very, very excited to be able to bring that to life. It's anyone's guess how the story will be changed to accommodate woke messaging, but Disney's Stories Matter initiative makes the overarching goals of the company clear. It states that the company will continue reviewing content and adding context disclaimers when necessary as part of an ongoing commitment to
Diversity and inclusion.
All right, now I'm probably overusing that. Plus, changing the storyline wouldn't be completely different from what screenwriters did with the original story material. Well, if we go to this new article here over on Bounding into Comics, Rachel Zegler hints at radical left feminism in Disney's upcoming Snow White live-action film. I can't wait. I literally can't wait. Actress Rachel Zegler coordinated with struggling outlet BuzzFeed during a recent interview to drop hints about the upcoming live-action remake of Snow White. Full stop, it's going to suck. Disney's past attempts at leveraging classic franchises into live-action remakes hasn't worked out as well as many had hoped. For a company like Disney, which sits upon a treasure trove of material, this is pretty pathetic. The MCU is withering on the vine, Star Wars is a running joke at this point, and remakes of classic Disney properties are being passed over in favor of original classics. That's because people prefer the genuine article instead of a shameless cash grab masquerading as a culturally relevant art piece. Well, yeah. Consider 2019's Aladdin remake, which managed to rake in $1 billion at the box office and weigh it against 1992's animated Disney original, which grossed around half of that. Adjust for inflation, and the 92 film would have made about $950 million. That day, the tally comes in just shy of the live-action remake, but there's a catch. Well, yeah, I mean, why not double dip, though? Rachel Zegler is currently making headlines for all the wrong reasons, thanks to Steven Spielberg's wholly unnecessary remake of West Side Story going over like a lead balloon. Spielberg said the cast used racial instigation to whip up resentment, leading to its release, and fans responded in kind by dismissing it with a roll of their eyes. Even the coveted Latina demographic, which was obviously the target of the film, have tuned out, and they aren't the least bit interested. Could it be because Spielberg opted to patronize them out of the gate while tossing around offensive terms like Latinx, which they aren't particularly fond of in the first place? Now Disney is going to repeat the same process with Zegler, a known instigator who goes after both her fan base as well as fellow actors. And she's going on the offensive once more. She's not particularly nice or a palatable human being, and her rhetoric mimics her chronic immaturity and toxic personality. Yet, she is in the lead for Snow White, a story about a girl who is her exact behavioral opposite. Well, yeah. She recently stepped on another rake when she went after Americans for their dislike of Spielberg's decision to omit subtitles from West Side Story. "It is respect," she shouted. "It's respect for my upbringing in a Spanish-speaking household. It's respect for the fact that this nation does not have an official language." Unfortunately, nobody taught Zegler basic history about the Founding Fathers, who believed that the official language in a cultural melting pot like America would end up being a divisive issue once again. The founders demonstrated more progressivism than so-called progressives. The decision to cast a non-white actress in the role of a Caucasian lead is nothing new, but that's the point. And Zegler is waiting in the wings to pounce on the backlash. This is, of course, how the left operates. They do something that will cause resentment on purpose, simply to reaffirm their own distorted conclusions of reality. Well, yeah, of course. As for Zegler's specific comments on Snow White, she told BuzzFeed, "There's not much I can say about it besides the fact that Snow White has been constantly criticized, again, by who, even though she's the original Disney princess and we love her so much, but criticized for existing solely for a prince existing to be rescued." She went on to reveal that her version of the character would be stronger, saying, "And I think that our director, Mark Webb, and everyone who's working on that film has really taken her narrative and turned it into something that's a lot stronger. And I'm very, very excited to be able to bring that to life. It's going to flop." Is code speak for radical third wave feminism agenda infiltrating classic properties in an attempt to push female empowerment narrative. The problem is that there are inexhaustible ways of showcasing strong female leads that do not alienate the movie-going populace in the process. Snow White is not one of them. It's a classic tale, and fans have expectations going in that they don't want subverted. Well, I mean, this is the same person that called Jeremy Renner a garbage monster. Can I be the new Hawkeye? Actually, I think the new Hawkeye should be a trans woman of color to stick it to that racist, phobic garbage monster. And deaf, proper representation for the incredible deaf/hard of hearing community. A deaf trans woman of color, yes! It's like these leftoids are a parody of themselves. You know, it's like we joke about like, how can we make something more woke and how can we, get something more over the top, but like that's what they're doing. They're literally like, yes, a trans deaf person of color or whatever. Like they're a parody of themselves. Excuse me. One user challenged Zegler, writing, "You need to learn facts before you start running your mouth. Turns out most of the story is BS." Zegler responded by doubling down on her accusations against Renner. She wrote, "Not even remotely going to address the story that came out today, but he has made phobic comments and totally disrespected the deaf community. Better catch my mouth, 'cause she be running. Bye." By the way, Jeremy Renner is still Hawkeye in the MCU, and he will reprise his role in the upcoming Hawkeye series on Disney+. I can't wait. I can't wait for Snow White
Reimagined.
because it's going to be a great content. It's just going to be unending content for me, which I'm happy to have. It's called Job Security. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.